A Roth IRA is an individual retirement account in which you make contributions with after-tax dollars, and you can withdraw that money during retirement tax-free. In this video, we are going to be covering everything under the sun about Roth IRAs and whether or not they're right for you. Hey, what's up guys? It's Justine with Debt Free Millennials, the channel to help you crush your debt and live payment free. And if you are wondering about types of retirement accounts, then you probably saw Roth IRA pop up in your research. And so we're going to be talking about Roth IRAs today. I think these are great retirement accounts, especially for millennials, because we still have time on our sides for those IRAs to really grow. So for 2021, your contribution limit to a Roth IRA is $6,000 or $500 per month if you choose to contribute to it monthly. Now, who is eligible for a Roth IRA? There's actually some income limits that you'll want to pay attention to make sure that you are eligible for this type of retirement account. So if you're married and you file your taxes jointly and your modified adjusted gross income is less than $198,000, then you can contribute to a Roth IRA and contribute up to the max. Now, if you are single and your modified adjusted gross income is less than $125,000, then you can contribute up to the max for your Roth IRA. Now, you can get these numbers by looking at your tax return forms and figuring out exactly what that modified AGI is. That's exactly what I did when I was trying to determine, because especially if you're married and you're pooling your incomes together, you can get very close to that income limit, so you want to pay attention to that. But if you are in a low tax bracket, generally speaking, your Roth IRA is going to work best for you. All right, so there are several benefits to a Roth IRA, and one of the biggest benefits is all of your earnings grows tax-free. Tax-free, which is some beautiful words right there. Another benefit is that your contributions are taxed up front, which is a great benefit because we only know that taxes are going to continue to go up over time. We've seen this, right? So it's better to pay those taxes up front, out of the way, and then the next benefit is that your withdrawals after age 59 and a half are tax-free. You can take that money and you don't owe anything on it. Now that's different from a traditional IRA or a 401k in which you will have to pay taxes on that money as it's withdrawn from the account during retirement. Now you can also withdraw some of this money for a first-time home purchase, and you can do that before retirement. There are some restrictions on that, so I'll link to some resources below. And there's no required minimum distribution during retirement. So you are not required to take a certain amount of money out of your Roth IRA during retirement, which means you can focus on other stuff and really let that Roth IRA continue to grow. Now, I think the two biggest cons to the Roth IRA is that they have such a small contribution limit. I mean, if you're really trying to max out your retirement plans, then $6,000 for the year, isn't really a lot of money. Also, this only works up to a certain income level. Like I said, if you're married and you have a modified adjusted gross income of more than $198,000, then you won't be eligible for this type of account. And likewise, if you're single and your modified AGI is over 125, then the Roth IRA is no longer going to be a benefit or service available to you. So you'll want to take advantage of it while you can and while your modified AGI is less than those limits. So I use a Roth IRA because I know that most likely my tax bracket is just, I'm going to continue to move up in the tax bracket as I get older, right? As we get older, we move up in our careers, we generally make more money. And so if I can start this nest egg small inside of a Roth and really take advantage of those tax benefits, then I can really let this thing balloon over decades of time and have a really big Roth IRA investment when I go to retire and withdraw on that money. So where can you invest and open a Roth IRA? Typically, any brokerage firm or investing company will have a Roth IRA option available to you. Now, I personally use Vanguard, and I found Vanguard Roth IRAs really easy to set up, and their expense fees are like the lowest of anywhere that I've ever seen. You can also use a robo-advising platform, something like Betterment, and you can open a Roth IRA with them as well. But I use Vanguard because that's what I like. And I just looked at my investing performance for the Roth IRA that I have with Vanguard. And since I started this Roth IRA with Vanguard in 2017, and I had transferred some money from a mutual fund company, that's a whole nother story. It was bad news bears, but I have earned more than 15% on that money inside of my Roth IRA. And I just invest in 2 index funds inside of my Roth. And that includes the Vanguard 500 Index Fund and the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund. That's it. I just keep it simple. Those 2 stocks, I invest my money monthly into my Roth, and it's done. And I've seen, since I started this account with Vanguard, over 15% rate of return. Now, this can obviously change from year to year, and you're going to see fluctuations with the stock market. And that is something that I'm willing to go in and take a risk on because I know I have a lot of time on my hands. Now, when I get closer to retirement, I can switch those funds to something more conservative, like a bond index fund, so I know that money is guaranteed and I have lower risk associated with my Roth so that I can withdraw the money during retirement. Now, I am not a financial advisor or a CFP. This is what I've found on my own, doing my own research on Roth IRAs, and I have found them to be so helpful. Now, if you want a resource where you can learn more about retirement and different retirement accounts, I highly suggest you pick up the book, The Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins. And he goes into not only Roth IRAs, but just other ways that you can manage your investments and do so in a way that is going to build your financial wealth. So I'd like to know in the comments below, do you have a Roth IRA? Are you planning on opening one? And what's your experience with Roth IRAs? Leave me a comment below. We can talk about these. I think they are great tools. If you are eligible for one, get you one. Sign up, do it. Get that nest egg going. You only have time on your side right now, and now is the best time to start.